Let me start by saying this clearly because I know someone needs to hear it right now. If you don't post on social media, there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. If you've ever opened an app, scrolled for a few seconds, felt a quiet heaviness, and then closed it without posting anything, this video is meant for you. If you've ever taken a photo, stared at it for a long moment, and thought, I don't feel like explaining my life today, then you already understand more than you realize. And if you've ever felt invisible, misunderstood, or silently judged because you're not active online, stay with me because psychology explains this far better than people do. Today, I want to talk about the hidden psychology of people who don't post on social media from a deeply human and non-judgmental perspective. I'm not speaking from theory alone because as I say this out loud, I recognize parts of myself in these patterns too. One thing most people won't admit is that posting online is not as simple as just sharing, especially for certain personality types. For many people, posting comes with an emotional cost that others don't always notice or understand. When you post something, you're not just uploading a picture or a thought. You're opening a door to opinions, assumptions, and interpretations. You're allowing people to create stories about your life based on a single moment they see on a screen. Psychology refers to this as high social awareness, where the mind automatically thinks beyond the surface of things. Instead of thinking, this is just a photo, you think, how will this be read and who might misunderstand it? That constant awareness can become mentally exhausting, even if you can't always explain why. So sometimes not posting isn't avoidance or fear, but a quiet form of self-protection. Let me describe a very real situation that many people experience but rarely talk about. You're doing okay in life, not perfect and not terrible, just human and moving forward at your own pace. But you don't feel the urge to announce every good moment because you know how incomplete online reality can be. You understand that happiness doesn't need an audience to be real, and pain doesn't need witnesses to be valid. Psychology links this to internal validation, which means your sense of worth comes from inside rather than from reactions. People who don't post much often don't rely on likes, comments, or attention to feel grounded in who they are. That doesn't mean they don't care. It means they care deeply in ways that don't require performance. Some people experience emotions privately and fully without needing to translate them into captions. Another hidden layer behind not posting is the need for emotional control and personal boundaries. Once something is posted, it no longer belongs only to you, and some people are deeply aware of that loss of control. Psychology shows that people with strong boundaries are selective about who has access to their inner world. They don't broadcast their thoughts to everyone they've ever known, and that choice is intentional, not cold. There's also the mental load that comes with posting, which many people underestimate. Deciding what to post, how to say it, when to share it, and how to respond afterward can feel overwhelming. For people who already think deeply, this process drains energy rather than giving it. So opting out becomes a form of mental rest, not social withdrawal. A common misconception is that people who don't post are insecure, but psychology often shows the opposite. Many non-posters are actually highly self-aware and comfortable with who they are without constant validation. They don't feel pressure to prove happiness, productivity, or success to others. They understand that a meaningful life doesn't need to be constantly visible to be real. Some moments in life feel too personal, too fragile, or too sacred to be shared online. For these people, pulling out a phone during those moments feels like breaking the emotional connection. Psychology calls this present moment orientation, where experience matters more than documentation. Another reason many people don't post is emotional depth, which often clashes with shallow expression. Complex emotions like growth, confusion, healing, or quiet strength are hard to compress into a photo and a sentence. Simplifying those feelings can feel dishonest, so silence feels more authentic. Comparison plays a major role, especially for emotionally sensitive individuals. Some people are very aware of how scrolling affects their mood, self-esteem, and sense of progress. Psychology refers to this as emotional reactivity, and awareness of it leads many people to step back. Not posting becomes a way to protect peace rather than participate in comparison. Choosing not to post doesn't mean choosing disconnection from people. It often means choosing connection in quieter, more personal ways. Many non-posters prefer deep one-on-one conversations over public updates. They value real voices, pauses, and presence more than digital visibility. They don't want an audience, they want understanding. visibility also comes with vulnerability, and not everyone has the energy for that exposure. Posting can invite judgment, entitlement, and assumptions that feel emotionally unsafe. This is especially true for people who have been misunderstood in the past. Psychology shows that emotional invalidation often leads people to limit self-expression. They speak less publicly, but when they do speak, it carries weight and intention. If you're watching this and quietly nodding, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not behind in life just because you're not visible online. You are not strange for valuing privacy in a world that rewards exposure. You are not missing out simply because you choose not to perform your life. You are simply wired differently, and difference does not mean deficiency. Some of the most thoughtful, observant, and emotionally intelligent people are the quietest online. They are watching, reflecting, and living fully outside the frame. They don't need applause to feel aligned with themselves. Still, it's okay to admit that not posting can sometimes feel invisible. We live in a culture that equates visibility with value, and that pressure is real. But psychology reminds us that value begins internally, long before it becomes external. Your depth matters, even if it isn't displayed. Your boundaries matter, even if they aren't understood. Your quiet way of existing matters more than you've been told. If social media has ever felt like a space that wasn't built for people like you, that feeling is valid. It doesn't mean you're lacking, it means you're aware. Awareness often feels lonely in loud spaces, and choosing silence in a noisy world is sometimes a sign of clarity. If this video made you feel seen, understood, or less alone, then it served its purpose, because feeling represented is something many quiet people rarely experience. You don't need to explain your absence to anyone. You don't owe the internet proof of your existence. Living deeply is enough, even when no one is watching. In the next video, I'll talk about why highly self-aware people often feel disconnected in loud digital spaces. That topic explains even more about intelligence, sensitivity, and emotional depth. So stay with me, because your mind deserves conversations that understand it.